Welcome to another episode of Sports and Random Shit. I am your host, Queen J. And today we'll start off with the Lakers. Game 3 is currently on right now. We're really going to go 0-3 again. Are we going to get swept again? That's fucking embarrassing. The Nuggets are a kryptonite. How we're 0-10 against them is fucking insane. I think we haven't won a game there since like January of 2020 in Denver. It's just so fucked. I'm like convinced that the Lakers literally only they believe that there's only one half in the game, because so far this whole series we've been up in the first half every single freaking game, yet somehow we lose. Like they just want to piss me off, I guess. But yeah, it's pretty fucked up. I'm really upset. This is pathetic. Like, why are we even here? Honestly, at this point, I wish we would have lost against, who the fuck did we play first? I forgot what team we played first. I wish we would have lost the first play-in tournament game. Maybe against OKC. Maybe, just maybe, we would have stood a chance. Even Miami got one in Boston. But we can get one at home against Denver. So fucked, man. Laker fans, I am without speech. I have no words. In better news, the NFL draft started today. Of course, we're not going to post this until tomorrow, but it did start today. And congrats, first of all, to all of the incoming NFL players. Time for y'all to shine. Dreams do come true. Your dreams just come true. But that's just the beginning of it, because now you actually have to perform in the big dog league that is the NFL. First, we'll start off with my guy, Caleb Williams, USC to the NFL, because that's right. The best school in the world breeds nothing but freaking athletes. And I mean, rightfully so. No surprises here. He goes as a number 1 pick to Chicago. And I hope that he is the first a quarterback from USC that is not a bust, because I know that USC has that rep that all of their, even Heisman winning players, they just become busts when they're quarterbacks. So I hope that he shows out. I hope that the city of Chicago gets a solid quarterback in him, because the NFL is better when there's actually competitors out there, especially in a big market like that. I know Chicago fans are happy. They went and drafted number 9 as well. They got wide receiver from Washington, Rome Odunze. I believe I said that right. Everyone was curious to see if they were going to draft wide receiver O-line. They do need O-line next. They don't draft again until the 3rd round. They draft 75th overall. And then again in the 4th round, 122 overall. They got that pick from the Eagles. But overall, great job by Chicago. Their rebuild, I think that they look promising. That offense looks scary. Again, he'll just need protection, but I'm sure that Chicago fans are very happy right now. Okay, so next thought we move on to things that surprised me, which is the Bills trading away their picks. Why did you trade away your pick to the Chiefs? I think they traded away the 24th pick, if I'm not mistaken, and the Chiefs went and got Xavier Worthy. Like, what was the thought process behind that? Because y'all need a wide receiver, Bills. So you're just gonna feed your kryptonite. Speaking about kryptonite, so you're gonna feed your kryptonite, and you're not gonna get a wide receiver yourself. And then they were supposed to draft number 32 overall, and again they just traded that away to the Panthers, who got another wide receiver, and all they did was swap. It wasn't even like I don't understand why that trade happened. It's just like, yeah, you know what, whatever. Here you go. Here's this pick. We don't even care. Like, if I was a Bills fan, I'd be really frustrated. Again, I don't know who's more frustrated today, Bills fans or Laker fans. Probably Laker fans. The LA Rams, and y'all see that. First of all, that setup that they did at the beach. Nobody does it like LA, baby. But selected Florida State defensive end Jared Verse with the number 19th overall pick. And it is our first pick. It is the first round pick that we've gotten since 2016. In 2016, it was Jared Goff. Crazy that we haven't had a first round pick since then. It's been 8 years. Let's see what else. So There were 6 QBs taken in the first 12 picks. The Commanders now have a quarterback in Jaden Daniels. The Patriots now have a quarterback in Drake May from North Carolina. Cardinals drafted wide receiver Marvin Harrison Jr. Chargers selected an O-line. Vikings have J.J. McCarthy now. And a surprising pick here is pick number 8 by Atlanta and Michael Penix Jr. Even Kirk was like, what? I think they told Kirk, hey, we're thinking about drafting a quarterback, but they never let him know they were actually going to do that. So he's probably thinking, like, what the fuck, as well as everybody else. But I guess Michael Penix Jr. will come into a mentorship type of situation, and he'll learn a lot from Kirk. So not necessarily bad. But even the GM from ATL was explaining to the owner why they drafted him, because even he didn't know. And that's pretty bad. You don't want to walk into a situation like that. Another quarterback is Bo Nix to Denver, and I'm just happy that I don't have to see Zach Wilson as a starter, because I would literally rather watch arena football that doesn't exist. Let's see what else here. Cowboys also traded away their pick. Don't understand that thought process either, but I mean, do we understand anything that Jerry Jones does? Not really. They did get an offensive tackle. And speaking about the Cowboys, they did meet with Zeke yesterday, trying to bring him back. I mean, Zeke is a Cowboy. I think Zeke would go back for literally like little pay just to be back with the Cowboys. So I do see them bringing him back. A lot happening with the draft. Obviously, they'll continue tomorrow and the day after that, but those are the things that just kind of stood out to me. The Bears, aside from getting a new quarterback, they're also getting a new stadium. They are planning to build a state-of-the-art domed lakefront stadium costing an estimated $4.7 billion. The team is asking the cost to be covered by a combination of public and private funding. It should be available in 2028, so do expect a Super Bowl there in 2029, because that tends to be the trend anytime that there's a new stadium. I do want to go to a game out there this year for sure when the Rams play out there. We'll make that happen. More basketball news. Not necessarily basketball news, but Tyrese Halliburton apparently has 2 voices. He's Tyrese, and then he's Halliburton for his other voice. If y'all want to check that out, just go on Instagram. You'll see it somewhere. Let's see, more NFL, I guess, WNBA news. Kelsey Plum and Darren Waller filed for divorce after just 1 year of marriage. And I don't think it was amicable at all, considering what she posted. First of all, back in January, he posted some, like, questionable TikTok about, like, oh, what would you do if your girl left you? Supposedly it was just, like, a joke. There's always some truth and some joking, though. Just remember that. Kelsey Plum posted on her story, I went through fire for this man. One day I will say my story. Today is not that day. Like, I'm just wondering, like, bro, what the fuck did you do? All I can think about is you cheated. I mean, I know he has, like, a past in history with obviously having his addiction. Don't know if that has anything to do with this, if he cheated or something else. Aggressiveness. Don't know. One day she'll share her story, but today is not that day. More NFL news. Sorry, I'm trying to go in order here. Matt Ryan retired. Kobe Turner from the Rams, after he did not win Defensive Player of the Year, he's mad. He has a chip. He's mad now. He has a chip on his shoulder. Reached out to AD, and now he's training with one of the trainers that train AD. So he was already good last year. It's gonna get scary. I'm so proud of the Rams and our defense and what we've done. Honestly, we went from Aaron Donald and a bunch of random dudes to, like, we're lit. We have a solid fucking defense, and then we just picked up the other one today. So expect the Rams defense to be solid AF. This fucking game is pissing me off, guys. We literally just gave up. Fucking losers. Los Angeles Lakers and fucking Los Angeles losers, dog. I'm so fucking pissed. Those tickets on Saturday better be fucking free. 0-3? That's just embarrassing, dog. Anyway, let me go back to ignoring that. Reggie Bush gets his Heisman back, and he still plans on suing the NBA though. Sorry, the NCAA though, because y'all got him fucked up. It took way too fucking long to get that Heisman back. I'm glad that we have it back, and now USC officially becomes the school that has the most Heisman trophies in history. But yeah, y'all fucked up. It should have been done a long time ago, but I guess better late is never. Never late is better. But Reggie, get your money for the years of inconvenience. Over a decade. Almost, dang, he won the Heisman almost 20 years ago. Won in 2005. The time does fly. And I believe that is all for major sports news in the world. At least in my world. Alright, this game's over. I guess more USC news. Not necessarily so positive here. There were protests, Palestine protests. I would give more details. Honestly, I need to be a little bit more educated on what happened. I just know that there were over 90 arrests yesterday, and that led to the cancellation of the main stage for the commencement ceremony. U.S. is very tied down with security right now. I mean, they should take precautions, obviously. And just to know, people or students will still be able to walk in their respective classes. They just won't have like the main stage. Like, for example, when I graduated from USC, fun fact, Will Ferrell is the one that did the main commencement ceremony. So you go to the big stage, you all meet in the quad in the middle, and then each class goes to their respective schools. And then you each have like your own individual graduations. So students will still be able to walk, but unfortunately they will not get the main stage. Shit happens. This is the same class that literally had to deal with the pandemic. Like, this class is just getting the shit end of the stick, honestly. So things I did this week. I had a very quiet week, you guys. My mom was out of town, so I normally go visit her, but I visit her all the time. We actually spend a lot of time together. Cherish your family, you guys. Cherish your family. But yeah, my mom was gone visiting her family. I have an uncle that's not doing so well, unfortunately, and my grandpa's old. So that stuff. But anyway, she was out of town. My son is grounded. Oh, I haven't even talked about that. My son is grounded. I'll tell you guys right now. So he's grounded, but he basically didn't really have much to do because he doesn't have a phone, isn't allowed to hang out with friends, isn't allowed to talk to his friends, isn't allowed to talk to his girlfriend. My mom was out of town, so the kids still need something to do. So we went and ran errands on Sunday. The grocery shopping, bought just shit that I needed for the house. We went to the park while he played basketball. I worked out. I'm glad I got some workout in because, last week was so bad with my workouts. But this week I'm back to my wholesome life. And why he's grounded, let's get into it. Like I said, fun fact. One of my biggest things is don't fucking lie to me. My son is not an exception to that rule. Like, that little mother effer knows me better than anybody else. Yo, you literally live with me. Why would you do me like that, bro? You just start war. So, this is what happened. Anytime that his grades, yes, it has to do with grades. You guys already, starting the conversation that way. His grades would get to the house. They would just magically disappear. Like, what the fuck happened to the grades? Whatever. I've always been very, on top of, asking him, hey, how are you doing with your grades? You need help with anything? No, I'm good, cool. Show me your homework, okay. Also, he's, going to be 17 this year, so I don't feel like I should be behind your ass to do that when I'm already handling literally everything else in this household. I handle, including fucking mothering you. I think that you getting good grades should be it should be the bare minimum that you're expected to do. So I had it happened 3 weeks ago now, or 2 weeks ago. And I was like, hey, how are your grades? He's like, well, does a D count as a bad grade? Because that's, what I have in a class right now. And I said, yeah, it counts as a bad grade. You need to get that up. He said it was in chemistry. I was like, I get it. I was horrible in chemistry. I was like, but I told you that if you need help, just let me know. He's like, okay, Mom.
I'm not gonna say how I found out that he had the grades that he did, because then, yeah, I found out. I found the grades, and it was for, I don't even want to say the grades. It's embarrassing. It's really embarrassing. I go to his room Saturday morning. I'm like, yo, wake up. We gotta talk. And I don't ever just like abruptly just wake him up like that. And he's like, okay. I was like, get your laptop. Like he already fucking knew what was coming for him. So get your laptop. Okay. Opens his laptop. I was like, open up your grades. There's an error message for the grades. And I'm like, no. Give me the fucking laptop. Dive in, turn it around, and I'm like, what's this? Bam! Mind you, I don't, CPS services, please don't fucking come at me. He's gonna be an adult next year, okay? I don't use violence with him as like a resort, like as like my way to like punish him. But he deserved to be slapped. And I was like, out of everything I've told you not to do is don't fucking lie to me. If you're struggling in school, there are ways around it. Like, you literally have to try to fail. Because even if you get, like I said, I struggled with chemistry, I struggled with science classes. Even if you were to, like, get bad grades in all your tests, as long as you do your work and you do extra credit, you'll still fucking manage to get a C. Like, you're literally trying to fucking not pass this class. And he's asked me to, like he wants to start working, you know, like he wants to make money to help out. And I'm like, no, just focus on your grades. Focus on your last year in sports, and just do both. And then after that's done, then, you know, you can work. You have the rest of your life, literally the rest of your life, to work. I don't even know why you're in a rush. But I mean, I was also in a rush when I was his age. But I also had good grades. This is what I told him. At your age, I had you. Not only did I graduate early, I graduated on the president's list every fucking time. I got scholarships to multiple schools. I literally would only go to school till like noon, and then I graduated half a year early. I could have really graduated in my junior year, but I didn't want to because I wanted to have my extra year. So I have all those things while being your fucking mother. And you can't pass these classes after I'm on top of it, after I tell you that I can help you? I have a fucking master's. You know how embarrassing that is, that my kid might not even graduate? Oh, I lost it, y'all. Made me an apology letter. So anyway, I took away his phone, I took away his fun, I took away all of that. But the kid still needs to get out of the house. So we went, ran errands, and, you know, went to the park or whatever, and got our activity on. Being a mother is not easy, you guys. Me and Anthony have a great relationship for the most part, but that really pissed me off. Again, if you're anybody in this world and you take anything from this message, don't lie to me. So I guess this is more like sports news. I guess kind of. Uncle Shay Shay had some girl that I've never even heard of in my life, some woman, on his podcast, and he's getting so much backlash for how the interview went. And I watched snippets of it just on TikTok and whatnot, and it looks very awkward. Just looks like they were just kind of the whole time. I'm not one to just agree with people just because I want to agree with them, because like that's like the sheep thing to do. And I'm not that I'm trying to just I have to go against that. It's just like I believe what I believe in, and like everyone's really upset about how he like basically was I would say undermining her experiences and questioning what I guess she went through. And although I don't think that those things were like, you know, not real. I think what he was trying to do is just like, just because you think something is what it is, isn't. Like, there's been a lot of times they were talking about racism. And I know people get very, I don't want to use like word sensitive because it has like a negative connotation. But even with that being, you know, said, like, I'm like, I can even use words like that because people take it the wrong way. But in some cases, someone will do something wrong and then use racism as an excuse as to why someone was upset at them for something that they did. And I'm like, no, they're upset at you because you did something wrong, not because you are a person of color. Does racism exist? 1,000%. I'm a brown Hispanic. I'm a brown woman. You don't think I've experienced racism? And that's also another thing, because I'm Mexican, my racism isn't like looked at the same way as like somebody else's racism, you know? And I'm like, racism is wrong, and it's racism at the end of the day, regardless of what you look like. There's even racism within your own culture, or racism within minorities that I've experienced, you know? But I think what he was trying to say is like, just because you had those experiences, you know, like doesn't mean that it was because you were that. It could have been, but it doesn't mean that it's just because of because of you being black. Obviously, she didn't like that. And again, it was her experience, so I can understand why she was upset. Also, when he asked about her having, what is it called? It's Asperger's. She said something. No, it's not called Asperger's no more. Basically, having some sort of like, being diagnosed with something acoustic. I forget exactly what she was diagnosed with. He's like, are you sure that that's just not that you are diagnosed? She said she got clinically diagnosed. Okay. I have a really, like, I feel, okay, for example, my friend, she just recently got diagnosed with like some form of depression as well as something else. I forgot what the other part was. Me knowing this friend, I was like, I know her. Like I said, first of all, I think all of us have some sort of, like, when we go through shit, we all have some sort of depression. I've been depressed before, didn't even realize I was depressed at the time, whatever. I still get into my funk sometimes, but I also understand that feelings are temporary. In some cases, obviously, you know, when it's a very extreme mental health, obviously, is affected. And like, you know, when people are like really, really affected, and when it's just like, no, I think that you're just dealing with something right now. And at this very moment, yes, you may feel depressed, but I think that that's like for everybody. Like, it's not like I'm worried about you being like suicidal or anything, but she's been fine her whole life. And I think she just she has a very obsessive, and again, I'm not trying to sound negative because it's not a bad thing, but like, I guess obsessive personality, where when she like gets just like involved in something, it's just like that's all tunnel vision, all she fucking sees. So lately she's been feeling, you know, a little off, so she was convinced, literally convinced, self-diagnosed herself that she had ADHD. Okay, goes in for ADHD testing because she's convinced that she has ADHD. Instead, they tell her that she's like depressed and has something else. So now she's convinced that she's depressed and has this other thing, even though she'd never felt that before. She's like, oh, that makes sense. And now she's obsessed with that. So I told her, I said, I'm not saying that that isn't a reality, is, you know, maybe what you're going through right now. I said, but you didn't even think that you were diagnosed with that before. So just because they told you that, and just because now you look back and you think that you might have, doesn't mean that you are that. And don't just focus on that, because that's all you're going to attract. That's all you're going to think that you are. That's how you're going to move in life. Like, oh, now I'm depressed, so like the rest of your life you're going to move that way. Like, don't do that. And I think people are just so quick to like jump and like diagnose you like with something. So I think what he was trying to say, what Shannon was trying to say, is like, okay, you got diagnosed with a thing, like, are you sure? So it sounds fucked up. Like I said, I saw the interview, and I think he talked about it too. He said that she was just very like standoffish. Like when he asked for a hug, she was like, no, you know, at first. So I think that she just has like this, it's a very strong-minded person, obviously very strong-willed. And it's like, once people like her, like I said, my friend too, once they believe something is true, if you even try to question it a little bit or ask questions, like they get super defensive, and it's like almost like an attack. And like, that's like not what it is at all, but it's just like, again, you know, that's their reality. And I get it. I totally get it. But I think he's getting a lot of backlash. I understand why, but I also understand where he was coming from. Don't hate me for this. I'm just speaking my mind. So I just got my teeth whitened, so I'm drinking through a straw. But these are like the best things ever. Bombsies. I don't drink energy drinks no more, but this I do drink. Anyway, dating with me, or my opinions on dating. One of the things that I am just like, I really pay attention to is how a man takes care of himself. Because I take care of myself. I shower every day. I like to make sure that my hygiene is on point. I drink a lot of water. I don't do drugs. I don't smoke. I rarely drink. And even when I do, I get a little hesitant because I feel like drinking and hygiene just don't go together. Obviously, I invest in all this money, you know, just to like look good, to just when people look at me, like I want them to think like, damn, this girl's like takes care of herself. She's clean. She works out, does all that. Also, like, you know, people usually are around me. They're like, oh my God, you smell so good. And I'm like, I know. I take care of myself. When a guy doesn't, I'm like so turned off by him. Like I've seen guys, like there are some guys, so first of all, if I see you go out every fucking day, I'm like, why are you outside every day? I understand in some industries like you're kind of required because it's part of your business, but it's just not my thing. Like I don't find that attractive whatsoever. I don't Another thing too, like I said, is when I look at a guy and I know that he doesn't take care of himself, I'm like instant turn off. Like, you could be fine as hell, but if you got a whole belly like the Grinch, I'm instantly turned off. Like, why do you not work out? Why are you drinking alcohol every day? Sir, that is alcoholism. You're smoking fat ass blunts every day. You're probably doing other things. I don't know. You're, again, you don't work out. You don't eat clean. So I'm just like, ew. Like, I don't even want to think about your hygiene, if you know what I mean. Because I'm like, no, that is disgusting. And again, do you, but that's how you live your life. That's, you know, we're cool. Like, I'm cool with so many people who probably live their lives this way. But for myself personally, for my man that I want, I do not want that. Like, I need you to have a lifestyle. If I'm investing all this fucking money to look good, preserve my beauty, my youth, I need you to do the same, baby. Because otherwise, there is no me and you. Anyway, that is all for this week's episode. Sorry if I didn't have more, but I hope y'all enjoyed. Bye.